All right, one of the hottest topics last night, minimum wage. Watch this.
Every time we raise the minimum wage, the number of jobless people increases.
If you raise the minimum wage, you're going to make people more expensive than a machine. And that means all this automation that's replacing jobs and people right now is only going to be accelerated.
Do not raise the minimum wage.
I would not raise the minimum.
All right, a man who knows how to address that particular subject is Jon Taffer. He's the guy who runs Bar Rescue. You know the restaurant business. What's your opinion on the minimum wage at $15 an hour? Your opinion, please.
I think Marco Rubio nailed it, Stuart. When we get minimum wages too high, people get replaced with machines. And remember, businesses manage labor costs as a percentage of revenue, not in hard dollars. So if I can only spend 30% of my revenue on labor, no matter what the pay rate is, I can still only spend 30% of my money on labor, which means some employees are going to get hurt.
I think it was interesting that Marco Rubio got into the technology of eliminating high-paid minimum wage $15 an hour jobs. I've not heard that before, and I think it was a very good response. And as you say, I think he nailed it. But I want to move on, John, if I may, just to McDonald's. That stock hit a series of new highs. I think it went up to about $114 a share. It's $114.33, thanks in part to the all-day breakfast that they've rolled out. Who would have thought? Did you expect this kind of thing?
Well, actually, the quarter results ended September 30th, and new breakfast wasn't introduced until October. So they actually increased same-store sales during the quarter before breakfast. So we had a market pop of what, almost 14%. So I think they're seeing the turn last quarter and anticipating even more activity out of breakfast now. You know, they did make that turn, and you know that turn from lower sales to higher sales is the toughest part.
Sure is. How about Chipotle? Now, that stock has gone up. It's recovered recently after stores in the Northwest were closed because of the E. coli outbreak. Okay, they've reopened now, but what would you say, do they have a PR problem that's going to last for a while because of the E. coli problem?
Well, you know, this is why I scream and yell on Bar Rescue, Stuart. It's the epitome of what happens when food isn't handled correctly. This was a supplier issue. It didn't really happen within the restaurants. So I think that they will recover in the long term, and we're starting to see it now. The fact is, their customers are pretty loyal.
I just want to go back to the debate, because I know you've got a small business rescue plan. In 20 seconds, tell me which candidate most closely conformed to your idea of helping small business.
Well, it was an economic forum last night, and all of them are better for small business than the other side. But the fact of the matter is, I think Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz really have their arms around the factors that will generate higher income and a better environment for families and small business.
You know television, too, because
I also would like to say...
That was exactly 20 seconds, but go on. Keep going.
I would also like to say that last night's debate was interesting because all of the candidates got to truly articulate their thoughts. So the ones that don't get traction now are not going to get it. So I think last night was a deciding time for a lot of voters.
Fascinating. Jon Taffer, you know all kinds of industries, including debates. We appreciate you being with us, John. Come again soon. Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.